And welcome into the ballpark. Happy to have you with us. Two of the best teams in the game square off. It's Venezuela taking on the United States. John Shambi alongside Chris Singleton. Well, Singy, a couple of first-place teams, two of the best in the sport squaring off here tonight.
Well, coming into the season, based on the moves that they made in the offseason, this is the expectation. So they are realizing their potential. But going head-to-head, this might be a preview of what we see late in October.
All right, just about ready for baseball. And our pitcher in this game, Brandon Woodruff. Safe to say he's pretty stingy, Chris.
Well, this guy's just been filthy out there on the mound. Hitters batting under 200 against him, and they're just having a hard time squaring up anything, doing any type of damage. The only way he hurts himself is if he gives up the free passes and surrenders a rare home run. But outside of that, it's going to be a tough job for the opposing lineup today.
On the ground. Gathers and throws to first. One up, one down. Okay, let's check out the lineup. Singy, we're looking at a really young lineup here, so not much experience, but it also means they're going to bring a lot of energy to the table most days.
Well, we're in a golden age of young players. I mean, these players, they're getting up to the majors. They're dominating from a young age, bringing home plenty of hardware early in their careers. I mean, before they even get to free agency. So, you know, when you consider all of that, I love seeing the kind of energy that a team like this brings to the yard every day in and day out.
One down, base is empty. Fought off foul. Righty delivers. Outside.
Rarely will you see a pitcher just waste a pitch like that. The batter wasn't even tempted to swing. Every pitch needs to have a purpose so that it can set up a following pitch to help you get that out.
Swings through it for the K. Some high cheese for strike three.
Came inside with that two-strike fastball nicely and just bunched him up on the inside part of the plate. Couldn't get around on it and catch it out front. Many times if you do, it's a foul ball. And you know, a lot of pitchers, they really don't like working inside with two strikes because they do not want to hit that batter. And when they've got him up against the ropes, got to figure out a way to put him away. Did a nice job right there.
And the righty deals. And strike two.
Out there on the mound, he's setting the tone early with the fastball. 98 miles per hour up on the scoreboard.
And the pitch. Keeps the at-bat going with a foul ball. Going to count 1 and 2.
Well, this is a guy that can be frustrating for pitchers because he fouls off so many pitches and grinds out the at-bat. I'm sure there's some times where a pitcher would rather just give up a first pitch single than have to waste 6 or 7 pitches on one hitter.
Next offering upstairs.
Wow, this guy's really battling up there as if his run is the game-winning run. I love his tenacity.
Swings and misses. The high heat, too much on that one. End of a half inning of play. On to the bottom of the first. No score after a half inning. Welcome back. Starting in this one, Eduardo Rodriguez.
His career ERA has been under 4. What I like most about him is his reliability. Takes the ball every 5th day, ready to go whenever the manager calls.
Ready to go for the last half of the inning. Here's the shortstop at the plate, Bobby Witt Jr. Pitch misses, and that's ball 1. Ripped on a line to center. And Witt is out. And there's one away. Let's take a look at our lineup. In the sixth spot for them in this one, Bryce Harper.
Well, right in the middle of this lineup, and that's exactly where he belongs. I mean, he's there for a reason, Boog. This guy, they know they can rely on him, and he's a force, a presence there that, you know, puts a little trepidation in that opposing pitcher. We'll see what kind of impact he has in this one.
Next offering is in for a strike.
Oh, this guy's so comfortable hitting with 2 strikes. Even a good pitch early in the at-bat. If he's not ready to pull the trigger, he's not worried if he gets to an 0-2 count.
Arise. Steps on the bag. 2 up, 2 down. Here's Mookie now. Another solid power season. They say it went. Singy Mookie Betts, given name Marcus Lynn Betts. He attributes the nickname from his parents watching Mookie Blaylock play basketball.
Yeah, Boog, and the cool coincidence with that name are the initials, MLB.
That's right. That's in there, and it's 0-2.
This guy's not wasting any pitches. Hitters got to get into swing mode. This is a good time to expand the zone. Throw something maybe down in the dirt.
Spoils a 2-strike pitch, and he'll see another. And here it comes. This one popped up right side. And it falls. And that extends the inning.
Well, he found himself behind in the count right there, but he didn't give in. That one probably had no business ending up as a base hit, but he got just enough of it to muscle it to the outfield. And that pitch was well in off the plate. A tough one to handle, but he gets rewarded.
Here's Mike Trout. First pitch, and he just misses. Betts leads off first with 2 down to the inning. The next pitch misses, and that's ball 2. To first, and they've got him picked off. The tag, and that's out number 3, inning over. We played an inning, no score. And welcome back. New inning getting started. Eugenio Suarez up to the plate now. That one finds the zone. That's strike 1. Woodruff, multi-time All-Star. He features a 4-seam fastball, a 2-seamer, a changeup, a curve, and he works in a slider. Suarez started after it, tried to hold up. Now a look to first, and he went around. Ruled a swing. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Couldn't catch up to the heater.
Came after him with the fastball on 0-2, and that's a pretty good demonstration of what power pitching is all about. He's got the stuff, obviously, and right there he used it to put his opponent away without needing to waste any pitches.
Here's Gleyber Torres. What a season it's been for him. He has supplied a lot of power and that average. First offering, and it just misses. And a swing and a miss.
I think he was sitting off speed there.
Larry Bullard, our umpire behind the plate.
Bullard's got a pretty standard strike zone. Sometimes they'll have you guessing a little bit, but overall, well-respected umpire in the league.
Swing and a miss. That is strike 2. What about an umpire's height? How much of a role does that play in your experience and what the strike zone is like?
Yeah, I think it pushes the strike zone up a little bit, which, as a former hitter, you like that. You wanted the ball up. You didn't want to have to deal with stuff down in the zone consistently.
Next up, it's the first-year shortstop, Ezekiel Tovar. That misses. Ball one. As the game has moved along, we see more and more information supplied by teams about the umpires. I've been in clubhouses where they have pictures of all four guys, nicknames, hometowns, and as well hobbies listed. Dives, but it kicks off his glove. He decides to eat it, and they come away without an out. Runner at first with two away. Wilson Contreras now up to the plate. Put that 600 slugging into context. The league average usually in the low 400s. Boots it, but goes to second with it, and they get the out. Stay with the play, and that'll end the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the second. No score. We head to the bottom of the second, and now here's a speed threat. Outfielder Mike Trout. Smash to the left side. Tosses across to first, and quickly one away in the second.
Well, Boog, we talk about how the ball is coming out of the pitcher's hand. The way it comes out of his hand as an infielder, wow, really impressive.
Here's Kyle Tucker. And the first pitch misses for ball one. Second inning here, no score. That one misses. 2 balls, no strikes.
2-0 count, great hitter at the dish. If you're going to miss, you've got to miss outside the zone. You miss inside the strike zone, you'll be asking the umpire for a new baseball.
That one's in there, and it's 2-1. And there's a ball.
As a veteran out there on the bump, you're trying to establish both edges of the plate. Right here, he's working inside.
Hit hard, should be extra bases. Now he'll turn for second. And that's a 2-bagger.
Well, when you fall behind in the count, you've got to come into the zone, and then guys have a better chance of hitting the ball hard like he did right there.
Man at second with 1 away. And here's the first baseman, Bryce Harper. And that's in there for strike 1. Well, Chris, what a career Bryce Harper has put together. On the cover of Sports Illustrated at the age of 16, first overall pick by the Nationals in 2010. He's won multiple MVPs, multiple All-Star appearances, and a Rookie of the Year to boot. Bryce Harper has turned out to be just as good as advertised. And now 1-2.
Yeah, and has largely lived up to the hype. There hasn't been a more scrutinized ball player than Bryce Harper over the last 10 years. I mean, he's had a target on his back because of how well he did at a young age. But he's backed it up with a couple of MVPs and got his team to the World Series in 2022.
Here's Austin Riley, one of the stars in the win yesterday, as he had 3 hits. Ball 1, no strikes. Two outs and 1 in scoring position. Next pitch misses. Ball 2.
Well, no need to go right at this guy. First base is open. He can hurt you. So make him expand his zone. If he doesn't, give him a walk.
Now a check swing, but he held up. That's in there. And the count is 3-1. Bounce to the left side. Tosses to first. Third out, and that ends the frame. We'll move to the third with no. Well, here we go. Top of the third. Scoreless game. Anthony Santander at the plate. And the first pitch misses for ball one. Santander in the 8th spot in today's lineup. He's knocked in 9 over his last 10 games. Next offering is in for a strike. The 1-1 is fouled off. Pitch misses there. It's 2-2. And that's outside. Here comes a pitch. Swing and a miss. The velocity blasted it right past him.
Not the best location with the fastball on strike 3, but when you're pumping high 90s, you'll get away with some of those. More margin for error. You know, the fastball has become such a huge strikeout pitch in the sport. And I think a lot of it has to do with all the attention and emphasis on improved spin rates. These fastballs are just exploding out of the pitcher's hands and jumping through the zone.
Number 12 in the box with one away as he takes ball one. Looking for his first big league hit right here. Top of the third, no score. Out to center. Trout settles under it. Hauls it in for the out.
Now batting, right fielder, Ronald Acuna.
And here is Ronald Acuna Jr. Rolled out to second in his first at bat. That one misses in the dirt. Acuna, 25 years old, and he's a former Rookie of the Year. Next offering is down low. And a pitch. Splits the plate. 2 balls and a strike.
Pretty rare location right there, right down the middle. This guy paints the edges. I'm not sure if you're going to see that pitch again as a hitter.
That just misses. And now 3 balls and a strike. Up the middle, Story whips it to first. That's out number 3. So they make short work of him there. We move on to the bottom of inning number 3. We're tied 0-0. Back here at the ballpark, here's the power hitting catcher, Sean Murphy. That's in there. Strike 1. Bounce to the right side. On to first. Leadoff hitter gone in the third. Here's Trevor Story now. That's in there. And that's strike 1. Story measures 6 feet 2 inches. 210 pounds. A former first-round pick back in 2011. a foul ball. The 0-2. Cold strike 3 on the fastball, and that ran back over the inner half.
Well, just a beautiful fastball on the inside corner for that backwards K right there. I think the hitter saw it all the way coming from that opposite arm angle, so I got to think he was looking away and just got locked up by the hard stuff boring in on his hands.
Now here's Bobby Witt Jr. That one's in there, 0-1. And strike 2. Swings and misses. It's a strikeout. Pulled the string on the changeup.
I think the key is arm action on the changeup. When you can sell it like a fastball, you drop the velocity, you get the swing and miss, and you walk off the.
On to the 4th, and now number 17, Woodruff back to work. That one is upstairs. Check swing, no appeal. Hard ground ball, base knock.
Just so sound in his mechanics. Hits against a firm front side, and the hands just continue to carry through the middle of the field.
Go ahead run on base. Luis Ariz stands in. Strike 1.
Well, here's a good opportunity in this inning to get on the scoreboard after that leadoff hit, and hardly order coming up right behind them. This is where they need to get going.
Woodruff throws to first, and he's back standing. Runner at first with no outs here. Check swing, but he went too far, and it's 0-2. The pitch. Foul ball, it stays 0-2.
With 2 strikes, may see some movement over there at first base, try to stay out of a double play here.
And the right-hander deals. That one just misses. Left-hand hitter waits. And he hits a ground ball right side. Diving, and he can't make the play. Lead runner to second, so 2 on and nobody out.
Every now and then you'll see a right fielder try to throw out that runner at first. The hitter, he takes offense to it.
Well, nobody ever tried to throw you out at first.
Just the second baseman every time I'd roll over on the ground.
First and second, no outs. Next is the designated hitter, Eugenio Suarez. And a foul ball. The 0-1. In the air on the infield. And the infield fly is called. And the infield fly is called. Gleyber Torres up to the plate. He's 0 for 1. Pitch misses inside. And that is ball 1. Runners at first and second with one gone. Line drive, base hit. Runner around third on his way to the plate. He scores, and it's 1-0.
Well, they strike first as he gets the job done to bring home the run. Just a solid swing right there. Caught it out front and ripped it into the outfield for the base hit. Those always feel great.
So 2 in scoring position with 1 out. Ezekiel Tovar will hit next. Swings through that one. Right-hander kicks, deals. On the ground. In plenty of time to first. Runner scores, though. That's a little insurance, and the lead is 2. And up to hit is Wilson Contreras. First pitch just misses. 2 outs with a runner at third. So 2 balls and no strikes. There's a strike.
Well, he went inside a couple of times and now outside. Hitter's not exactly sure where to look for this next pitch.
The count 2-1. Good eye right there.
Pretty easy to give up on that pitch right there. Started on the edge of the plate with the spin. You know it's going to finish well off the plate.
Good plate appearance there. Able to take the walk. Here's the left fielder, Anthony Santander. His first at bat was a strikeout. That one missed. Corners are occupied with 2 down. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Got him swinging. But 2 runs for him, and they jump ahead to the bottom of inning number 4 now. The veteran. Bottom of the 4th, digging in, it's the speedy outfielder, Michael Harris. First pitch doesn't find the zone.
Well, after putting up a nice inning on offense, got some runs across, this is where you look for the starter to go out there, have a shutdown inning. Don't give that other team any hope. You just hope that he can get through this inning, get the bats back up there while they're hot.
Next offering is fouled back.
Pretty good pitch to take a pass at in a 1-0 count. Just not able to square it up.
The big lefty turns, kicks, deals. Off the mark there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And now the count filled up 3-2.
He wanted that fastball high and tight, looking for a strikeout. Just didn't locate it very well.
Three-two. Got him. And there's 1 down.
Yeah, that's a tough pitch to stay on. You don't want to get beat inside. And as you see that pitch continue to run away from you, by the time it's in the catcher's mitt, you think it's a ball off the plate away.
And now it's Mookie Betts. Swinging a foul back. That's out of play. Started to go after it. Now a look down to first. And he held up. pitch. Foul back our way, and that's out of play. One and two now. Just missed.
Well, he's not afraid to fall into a 2-strike count. Knows the strike zone very well. So much so that I think umpires will look at him and determine whether it's a ball or strike, if he swings or not.
Struck him out looking. Couldn't pull the trigger on a fastball at the knees.
The center fielder,
Here's Trout. 0 for 1 so far. Pitch is in for a strike. 0-1. Two outs. Bounce to the right. And foul ball. And the 0-2. Knocks that one away, and we'll do it again. The 0-2. Started after it. Appeal to first. And no swing, says James Kingsley. Struck him out looking. Back here in Miami, ready now for the 5th inning. Here's a speed threat, number 12. In for a strike, and it's 0-1.
He's pitching well, but not throwing a ton of first pitch strikes. Usually doesn't work out for success, but you can never predict baseball.
Kicks and fires. And a foul ball.
Now, there's a pitch we haven't seen in a while. It's going to be tough on the hitters if he can mix that in whenever he wants.
Swings through it, and that's a strikeout.
Very frustrating right there as a speedy potential base runner when with 2 strikes you just struggle to put the ball in play. You don't even have to get a hit at that point. You can help your team just by reaching on an error, but some way you got to find a way to shorten up the swing and put the ball in play next time.
In the air, center field, and that'll fall for a base hit.
Hitting is really easy for some guys. One thing that I can see already, his bat stays in the zone on plane for an extended period of time. And guys like that,
Acuna runs. And first offering is fouled off. Acuna over at first with 1 away. Woodruff throws to first. Acuna back easily. Oh, and 1 now. Late swing fouled off. And a pitch. Now Murphy has some trouble with it. In there safely. And now a man into scoring position.
Looked like that 4-seamer just kept rising on him, and he couldn't get the mid up in time to catch him. Kind of makes me wonder if that was a cross-up or maybe just way more run than he was expecting. Either way, he should have had it.
And a 1-2. And now 2-2. 1 out and a runner at second. That one 95 to finish him off.
Good pitch right there. I mean, he's attacking a location that this guy at the plate tends to have trouble with. And there's just so much information in this day and age, sometimes too much information. But the guys that can take that information, process it, and then go out there, Boog, and execute the pitch, go right after that hitter, and get the result that they were anticipating. That's really good pitching right there, and it's a good job of the pitcher and the catcher working together.
Two and 0 to count. Here it comes. That's inside. Eugenio Suarez waiting for a turn at the plate. So now 2 on and 2 outs.
That just came apart right there. 4-pitch walk, and guy at the plate was not going to help him out by swinging at something out of the zone.
Eugenio Suarez up to hit now. And first offering is fouled off.
If he can get through this one, put up a 0, this will help in his outings to come.
The 0-1. Activity in the bullpen. Dylan Tate getting loose out there for Aaron Boone. Loop, a left-hander, also throwing. The 1-1. Swings through that one for strike 2. And a pitch. And it's even up. And another ball.
Boog, he never moved because he never had time to. But that kind of velocity, you'd prefer that pitcher work away.
Kicks and deals. And that'll load the bases.
Well, the stage has been set for this offense, Boog. It's all about creating opportunities, and this is one of them right here.
So 2 down. Now it's the second baseman, Gleyber Torres. First offering misses the mark. The pitch. Misses again, 5 in a row.
Pressure's on right here. 2-0 count, bases loaded. You don't want to fall to a 3-ball count and then walk in a run. He's got to challenge the hitter right here.
Misses with the 2-0, and he's fired 3 straight outside the strike zone. That one finds the zone. And it's 3-1.
He's mixing his pitches really well. Late on that fastball after seeing the changeup. See if he can elevate one. I think if he does, he'll get the swing and miss.
Ball 4, and a run comes in to score.
He's really gotten himself into a mess out there and now forces home a run with the walk. This inning's definitely getting away from him.
Left-hander out of the bullpen, Nestor Cortez Jr. He's pitching on 2 days rest. Now it's the shortstop, Ezequiel Tovar. 1 for 2. And that's through there for a strike.
Well, he's so good about trying to drive the ball to the opposite field gap in these situations. If he takes that approach, he could bust this game wide open.
Here comes the 0-1. Swinging a foul straight back. And he deals. Line drive. And there's a base hit. He's in there. And it's 4-0.
Good 2-strike hitting right there, Boog. A bit of a lost start for some, so that was nicely done to beat the odds. Nice job of driving that pitch the other way on a line. You know, hitters, they take so many reps in the cages working on going to the opposite field, and it doesn't always translate into the game, but right there it did, and he did it perfectly.
Yeah, the batter now, Wilson Contreras. And fouled off. Two outs, bases are full. Fouled off, he was late. Next pitch is inside. Now 1-2. In there. Sets him down on strikes. Throws him with the heater at the knees. 2 runs in the inning, but they string. Back here at Lone Depot Park. Digging in, Kyle Tucker. That one finds the corner. Strike 1.
Well, a big lead like this is comfortable many times, but not when these 2 teams are matching up. You got to continue to keep your head down, play catch with that catcher, and just try to move through this lineup.
0-2 as he waves at that one. They've got a potent lineup, and when you think about teams capable of rallying from this kind of deficit, they're right at the top of the list. Down and in, moved his feet. And a 1-2. Gets a piece and stays alive. One, 2 now. And downstairs.
It's a good take.
That's foul off to the right side. Keeps the AB going.
A little early on that fastball. I'm sure the pitcher taking a note. Look for an off-speed pitch on this next one.
That's to third. Slings to first. And Tucker is retired.
Well, he's doing a nice job of keeping the ball out of the air. Lets the defense work behind him with another ground ball. Good execution.
Here's Harper now. That one misses, and it's 1-0. Chris, you think about memorable performances in the home run derby. Well, the Nationals had the All-Star game in 2018, and Bryce Harper, with his dad throwing to him, put on quite a performance and won the home run derby. And that's a little bit high.
Yeah, probably the biggest moment in Nationals Park for Harper, and he would have loved that to have been a World Series appearance, but it was an All-Star game and a home run derby where he just took the crowd by storm.
And he walked him.
Definitely lost the handle during that sequence. 4 pitches for the walk, and that last one didn't even threaten the zone. Catcher might want to go talk to him.
Now here is Austin Riley. First pitch, and that's in for a strike. That one's in there. 0-2 now.
Quickly into an 0-2 count. Both pitches were down in the zone. I think you set your sights a little bit higher because you'll have a tendency to chase if you look down in that area.
Torres makes the catch, and there's 2 away.
Now batting, catcher, Shaw.
So here's Murphy now. Grounded out his first time. Ball 1 there. Harper, the runner at first with 2 gone. Pitch is in there, and the count 1-1. There's a strike. And the pitch. Here's a high fly ball out to center. Number 12 in position. Makes the catch, inning over. All right, we go to the top half of inning number 6. Digging in is the switch inning outfielder, Anthony Santander. Swing and a pop-up. Story should have this one, and he makes the catch. 1 away. These 2 offenses can put up runs in a hurry. Number 12, the next to hit. That misses the zone, and that's ball 1. Cortez, an all-star a season ago, 28 years old. He joined the team as a free agent. The 1-0. And right back to the mound. to first. 2 quick outs to open the top of the 6th. So the lineup flips over. Now it's the right fielder, Ronald Acuna Jr. And that is in for a strike. 0-1. The pitch.
That's the ball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Swing and a miss. Pitch misses there. 2-2.
Really good take, especially with 2 strikes.
Next one misses, and it's a full count. And down on strikes he goes. And good work there as he gets a 1-2-3. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left. On to the bottom of inning number. Bottom of the inning. Here's Trevor Story. Rodriguez back to work. Looked like it was a little bit up. The wind of the pitch. There's a strike.
And it really looks like these hitters have been in between with their timing today. Good fastball, excellent slider, but they've not been able to commit to one velocity and stay there.
And now the lefty fights it off. He'll see another. The 1-2. And the 1-2 misses to even the count.
I always remember watching Johan Santana pitch, and when he was in his prime, you would see a lot of guys out in front, right-handers pulling that change up in the stands and then fouling the fastball the opposite field up into the stands.
Rolled over to third. Whips it across, and Story is out. And now here is Bobby Witt Jr. In for a strike. 0-1. Witt, a former All-Star, 22 years old. And he's been on a good run at the plate, hitting over .325 in his last 10 games. The 0-1. And that one off the outside edge.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Swing, and he breaks his bat. Torres fires over to first. And Witt is out.
Number 24,
2 outs, base is empty. Now the left fielder, Michael Harris. And there's the strike.
Well, certainly doing his very best out there on the mound to bring that win streak to a halt. This batter has to understand his job is to get on base however he can. If he gets hit by a pitch, if he walks, maybe even singles, but you want to get the heart of the order up to the plate.
That misses the zone. It's a ball and 2 strikes. The wind to kick the pitch. Inside, just missed. Cuts and misses. It's a strikeout. And welcome back. Here's the third baseman, number 17. The wind and the pitch. And that's in for a strike.
No balls, one strike.
The wind and the pitch. That's in there. No balls, 2 strikes.
Well, he didn't like those first 2 pitches. Now in an 0-2 hole. He's going to have to battle. Hope he gets a mistake.
Here's the 0-2. Line to left. Pulls up, and that's in there for a knock.
The first baseman, number 3, Luis.
And now the first baseman, Luis Arias. In there for strike 1.
You know, this group of hitters really impressing me with the quality of their at-bats in this one. It's been fun getting a chance to see them go to work. The numbers help tell the story. I mean, they've been sitting fastball, and it's paying off in a big way. So far with 6 hits against that pitch alone.
That one the other way. Grabs it on the run. And there's one down.
And that's a great way for a lineup to dominate a game, because if a pitcher can't rely on his fastball to get outs, I mean, that puts a lot of pressure on the rest of his pitches to be effective.
Eugenio Suarez getting ready to hit. That misses the zone. Ball 1. To first, and he breaks for second. To second, and he's out. Off the plate inside. Now 2-0. This to third, and it goes just foul. And a 2-1 on the way. Foul back our way, and that's out of play. And here it comes. This one popped up. Cortez pulls it down, and he makes the catch. And that ends the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and no one left. Midway in inning number 7, and it's time to stretch. The veterans out front here, 4-0. Bottom of the 7th, and now the DH, Mookie Betts. Here comes the pitch. Off the plate, 1-0. The pitch. And that one hammered. That's back. And it hits the fence. Throw to second, not in time. He's there easily.
So close to blasting that one out of here the other way, but well, it's very tough to do when you take on the outfield gap like that. Beautiful swing, though. Let the ball get a little deep and drove it to the opposite field.
And now batting, Mike Trout. First offering, and it just misses.
If you're going to get something going, this is the time to do it. You get the leadoff man on. Everybody's got to look over the shoulder and say, I'm just going to keep the line moving. Don't try to do too much.
The lefty, the 1-0. And that's a strike. Bullpen activity starting up now. Andres Machado, the right-handed sinker baller. He looks to be readying himself. Suarez getting cranked up as well. The 1-2. Right back to him on the mound. Fires over to first. And one away in the bottom of the 7th. And now the right fielder, Kyle Tucker. And the first pitch misses for ball 1. Betts leads off second with 1 gone in the inning. Next offering is in for a strike. This one popped up. Foul ground first base side. Arise makes the play, and there's 2 away.
Good hard fastball up in the zone right there. They look really good coming in, but so hard to get on top of as a hitter.
And now here is Harper. He's got the power, but great contact skills. One of the best contact hitters in the game. The lefty closing in on 100 pitches. There's a strike. Runner at second, 2 down. The 1-1 is fouled off. One and 2 here. That one ripped. Oh, he gloves it.
Make a great catch like that. It's all about timing the jump. His timing was perfect. Excellent grab, and he comes down with it. The inning is over.
Welcome back, and a new arm on the mound to start the 8th. Dylan Tate. He pitched yesterday, and we'll see him once again. Gleyber Torres up to hit. And a pitch. And that's downstairs and outside. The 1-0. They tried to get him to chase on a slider down and away. And it's fouled away. And there's a ball. Swing and a base hit. Off to a good start with a leadoff knock.
He was all over that one. Nice line drive to the pull side, met it out front, but just stayed through it nice enough and ripped it into the outfield.
Man at first, and now the shortstop, Ezekiel Tovar.
Really good piece of hitting last time, going to the opposite field.
Lifted in the air, right field, and out number 1 on the grab.
As good as he's seeing the ball out of the pitcher's hand, you cannot hang a breaking ball right there. Lucky it stayed in the ballpark.
Here's the catcher, Wilson Contreras. Outfield playing very deep, not wanting anything over their heads. Gleyber goes. This one in the air, right field. Tucker makes the grab, 2 down.
The left fielder, number 29, Anthony Santander.
Now it's the switch hitting outfielder, Anthony Santander. And the first offering is not close. Righty to the plate. And the 1-0 misses low.
When you get ahead in the count, there's no doubt that the success rate goes up. And that's what he's been doing. It's made a big impact for him in recent games.
At the belt and fires. And that one fouled off. The pitch. Rolled softly, but that goes foul. Two now. Ground ball up the middle. Fires to first on the run, and that'll do it. Back here at the ballpark, now the third baseman, Austin Riley. And a pitch. Foul back our way, and that's out of play. Rodriguez still out there to pitch the eighth and working with a big lead.
He's been excellent, really on his game in this one, and at this point, he wants to finish what he started.
Not close with that one, and the count is 1-1. The 1-1 is fouled off. Swing and a miss. Had him out front for the strikeout. Here's Sean Murphy. Is there a debate to be had about shutting him down, maybe to preserve some bullets given the score?
Absolutely. When you consider over the course of a long season, guys putting a lot of stress on that elbow, on that shoulder, but you also have to pry the ball out of a hand of a guy like this because he's so competitive.
The next offering misses, and the count even 1-1. And now 2 balls and a strike. And a pitch. That's down and in.
Here's an opportunity to do some damage and perhaps unlock this offense. 3-1 count. Be ready to turn on a fastball.
The 3-1 in for a strike, full count. Kicks and fires. And there's ball 4.
Pitch count's getting up there now, and not saying that's the reason for this walk, but this is the point in the game when every sign of wavering starts to get everyone's attention.
Here comes the skipper, and we're going to see a pitching change in this spot. Eduardo Rodriguez won't go any further. Great effort out of him as he exits in line for the about the new pitcher when we get back. They hand the ball over to a new arm, Andres Machado.
And he's got a nice lead to work with, so he should come in throwing strikes, attacking these hitters.
Trevor Story comes up to the plate. And that's in there for strike 1.
Now, these guys definitely looking for a big swing of the bat right here. Try to close that gap. But, you know, at the very least, if you could find a way to manufacture that run from first, it feels like it's really important to getting back into this ball game.
The next pitch misses, and it's 1-1. Murphy at first, 1 gone. The 1-1 is fouled off. Right-hander kicks, deals, and a foul ball. He stays alive. Here's a 1-2. Stays alive. Adbert Alzolay on to pitch here.
Definitely a guy that pounds the strike zone, makes hitters earn their way on base, and rarely gets in trouble because of free passes.
And the righty deals. Swings and misses, struck him out.
Well, that slider was way out of the zone, and for me it just comes down to not seeing the pitch out of the hand, not tracking it into the zone, and then also being a little bit anxious, not confident in your two-strike approach. And so when a guy's in that position, you get him to commit early, and a lot of times you get the swing and miss as you did right there.
Here's the shortstop at the plate, Bobby Witt Jr. Foul ball. And the right-hander deals. Movement in the bullpen. Carlos Hernandez appears to be getting loose. Ball to strike. There's a swing and a miss.
Clearly he was sitting on a fastball right there and just ended up out in front of the slider. Hey, you can't fault him for his commitment. Now he's just going to have to battle with two strikes.
Righty delivers, and that's in the dirt. Foul ball, another 2-2 upcoming. Right-handed reliever. That one missing inside.
Great RBI spot here. Just got to stay focused on the pitch. The runner will be in motion, so something in the gap should definitely score it.
Foul ball, and it remains a full count. Kicks and deals. Hacks and misses. It's a strikeout. We're back. It's the top of the ninth, and there's a new pitcher on the mound, Aaron Loop.
And one thing on him, he's been really good this season at keeping the ball in the park. Not an easy guy to take deep.
Now, number 12. And he deals. And that one just missed off the outside edge. Loop, in his 11th season, he features a sinker, a cutter, a changeup, and occasionally mixes in the slur. The 1-0. And that one pulled foul. The pitch. He swings and fouls one off. Fights that one away, still 1-2. And the pitch. And he grounds one to the right side. Story sends it over to first, and they get the leadoff man in the ninth.
That's what a good sinker's designed to do. Get a guy to roll over a little bit, hit the ball on the ground, kill some worms while you're at it.
And now it's Ronald Acuna Jr. Misses outside, and that is ball one. And a good eye there. Swing and a ball hit out towards left center field. Trout squeezes it, 2 away.
Now back, third baseman, Michael.
Now the number 2 hitter, number 17. Little dribbler up along third. Has to barehand it, but there's no play for him, and that's going to extend the inning.
The first baseman, number 3, Luis Arias.
Two outs, runner at first. And here's the first baseman, Luis Arias. 1 for 3. First offering misses badly for ball 1. Now snap throw to first. And he's back in on a dive. Pitch out, but no action. Two-0. Foul ball there. The 2-1. Slap the other way, foul. On a line, base hit.
Now batting, the designated hitter, Eugenio.
So 2 on with 2 away. And next is the designated hitter, Eugenio Suarez. There's a strike. Two on, 2 outs. Strike 2.
Perhaps not quite ready to hit. First 2 pitches by him for a couple of strikes. Now back is against the wall. He's going to have to figure something out and figure it out quickly.
0-2 now. And ball 1. The pitch. Swing and a bouncer. Out number 3. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left stranded. We head now to the bottom of the 9th. Venezuela have the advantage. Welcome back. Here's the left fielder, Michael Harris. The pitch. Bottom of the zone and a called strike. And the 0-1. In the air, fairly deep to right field. Acuna has it sized up. Makes the grab, one away.
Now batting, the designated hitter, Mookie.
Now it's Mookie Betts. Line drive, caught.
Nothing you can do about those as a hitter. Even though you know that, they still drive you absolutely crazy.
So they're down to their final out. Stepping in, Mike Trout. And a little something extra at stake in this at-bat as he's hitless so far with his hitting streak in jeopardy. First pitch doesn't find the zone. And this is very likely the last chance he gets to keep his hitting streak alive. Two down, nobody on. That's off the mark, and it's 2-0. Good eye right there. Kyle Tucker waits on deck. Two outs. That's in for a strike.
Man, this guy's got a great feel for his breaking ball today.
The 3-1. Swing and a miss, and that's strike two. And a swing and a miss, and that is the ball game.
Well, Boog, 4 games wasn't too long of a losing streak, but they're definitely happy to be back in the win column. Now you can turn things around, get on the right track, and probably start a winning streak from here.
A 4-0 shutout in this one. For Chris Singleton and our entire outstanding crew here at MLB The Show, I'm John Shambi. Thanks for joining us.